To some breaking news from overnight now. We've learned that the LMPD is investigating an officer-involved shooting in Portland. This happened on North 25th Street, and this morning we know one of the two people shot has died.
Jim Stratman is live from LMPD headquarters this morning with more because, Jim, we did just get these details in the last few hours. They're new to people this morning if they are just waking up.
Yeah, that's right, Grace. At 11 o'clock, we had not heard from Chief Jacqueline Villarroel at that point, and so this new information coming in overnight, we were learning more about what exactly happened at that scene. Again, as you said, or as Eric said, one person dead, one person in critical condition due to an officer-involved shooting. We're told that this was a domestic situation, or at least that's how it began. Officers responded around 8:45 last night to the 400 block of North 25th Street in the Portland neighborhood. The 911 caller telling dispatchers they believed that a family member was on drugs and had pulled a gun on other family members in that house. We're told that a small child was in the house at the time as well. When officers arrived, they reportedly heard loud arguing coming from a room upstairs. The chief said that officers tried to talk to the people in the room, but when the situation escalated, those officers forced their way in and shots were fired.
The officers immediately rendered life-saving aid to the individuals. One individual died, unfortunately, at the scene. Medics transported the other to the University of Louisville Hospital, where he is in critical condition.
Chief Villarroel said officials did find guns in the upstairs room. Officers were wearing body cameras during the time of this shooting, and per department policy, that video will be released in the next 10 business days. Now, what we do not know at this point, what we're still trying to figure out, is the relationship between all the people involved here. Who were the two people shot? Who fired those shots as well? Those are the two big questions we're working to answer, and also to get an update on the condition of that person in the hospital. Once we do have more information, we will be sure to let you know both on air and online. Grace, Eric.
Lots of moving parts, Jim. Thank you. Several juveniles have been arrested for a series of carjackings late Wednesday night into yesterday morning. Now, you can see on your screen here, take a look with me, some of the areas where the cars were stolen. The LMPD tells us the suspects were arrested after one of the cars crashed into a church at 26 and Oak Streets. WHAS11's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Aspen Hester spoke to those who live nearby who are now concerned about their safety.
Well, we think this is a great area. This is a lovely neighborhood.
On the quiet Eastwood Street of Brattle Court.
Just never would have expected it to come out this far east.
There are rumblings from neighbors.
It's just really scary to think about.
After police say an armed carjacking took place here in far eastern Jefferson County Wednesday overnight.
It gives us all a reason to be a little bit more vigilant.
This man, who lives down the street from where it happened, asked we don't share his name or show his face.
We just heard that a couple of cars followed another car into the neighborhood, a resident right down the street. They came in, and it appeared to be a carjacking.
It was one in a string of armed carjackings taking place Wednesday night into Thursday morning, according to LMPD. Another happening here around Newbridge Place in Fern Creek. Two more a mile down the road near Hames Trace off South Hurstbourne Parkway, catching the attention of a nearby homeowner who wished to remain anonymous. What did you hear last night?
I heard screeching, like I thought they was doing donuts in the parking lot.
So do you believe that was
the carjacking? Now when I looked at the news, and I'm like, that's what that noise was.
LMPD made several arrests in connection with the string of carjackings across South and East Louisville, all of them under the age of 18.
It's a sad situation. We live in a day and age these days where you have a lot of youth that don't have guidance.
Connor Steffen, WHAS11 on your side.
Police say to protect yourselves, park in busy, well-lit areas, always be aware and limit distractions like your cell phone. And if somebody is approaching your car, drive away.
The trial for triple murder suspect Bryce Rhodes will pick back up today. Yesterday, another teen charged in the murder testified against him. Rhodes is accused of killing a man, then killing two teens because they saw the first murder and told their mother. Jacory Taylor, one of three teenagers who already pleaded guilty, began his own testimony by refusing to speak. The judge reminded him part of his plea agreement included testifying against Rhodes. Taylor described what happened on that tragic night back in 2016.
I want you to violate him. I was scared. So, I'm like, what you mean? He said it. He's like, I want you to punch him in his chest. And if you hit him in his face, I'm gonna hit you. He had me punching him. And he said, stop. I feel like he just as guilty as we hurt. I couldn't do nothing though. I mean, I was scared. I was scared. I don't know. I just know I couldn't really save him.
Also said he and the other boys are just as guilty because they didn't do anything. The trial will resume later today, but the judge doesn't expect it to go beyond next week.
A woman is dead after she was hit by a car in Newburgh. We're told officers responded to reports of a person hit around 6 Wednesday night. Officers say a car traveling toward Hikes Lane hit 63-year-old Trinity Sullivan while she was crossing Newburgh Road. Sullivan was taken to a local hospital where she died a day later from her injuries. The LMPD said the driver of the car that hit Sullivan did stay at the scene.
Today, Kentucky lawmakers are expected to discuss a proposed bill addressing gun safety. It's called CAR, which stands for Crisis Aversion and Rights Retention, and its goal is to remove guns from Kentuckians considered a risk to themselves or others. Weapons couldn't be removed without a court order, and the person would have a chance to make their case to keep them. The bill, sponsored by Republican State Senator Whitney Westerfield, already has bipartisan support, but it's causing some division within the GOP. Kentucky Senator Damon Thayer told us earlier this week he will not support the bill.
There's no chance a red flag bill is going to pass the Kentucky State Senate. It doesn't have the votes, and I'll personally work against it. I just don't think it's constitutional.
Families of the Old National Bank mass shooting victims are expected to attend the hearing, which starts at 10 this morning. WHAS11 will be in Frankfort for full coverage throughout the day, so stick with us.